rest of us. Because we are seeing people who are operating in this notion of white fear because they are afraid that the morals and the values of the nation are now going to be redefined because the people who are now going to be doing the defining don't look like the folks who used to be doing the defining. See, that's really what we are dealing with. In 2009, I called it. I said, we're living in the age of white minority resistance. I said, trust me, when these numbers become reality, folks will be saying, hold up, wait a minute, hold up. This thing is changing? Yes, it is. You look at what's happening. Now, 51+% of the kids in public schools are black and brown. That's fact. By 2039, the labor force, in terms of working class in America, will be people of color. And so all of a sudden, you have folks who are freaking out like, oh my God, what about us? Well, you've been running this thing for all this time. And so now all of a sudden, you upset these things are changing. Well, here's the deal. Black people kept having kids. Latinos kept having kids. White birth rate actually dropped. It ain't my fault. Y'all stop knocking the boots. I ain't got nothing to do with that. In the next 5 years, the average white death rate in most states will be higher than the average birth rate. And so the demographic shift is actually happening. It is happening before our very eyes. And then we also have some disillusioned, clueless black folks who are falling into this game as well because we're saying, oh my goodness, what about us? And we are attacking them. I'm sitting going, what are you talking about? What we are dealing with is America is changing before our very eyes, and you are the generation who is positioned for leadership in a changing America. If you are 24, 25 years old today, in 24 years, you will be in the prime of your career. So you will be in a leadership position in corporate America, in churches, in nonprofits, in colleges, universities. And so it's incumbent upon you to present a different worldview because the world in which you will be governing is different from the world that you have been, your parents and grandparents have been living in, which means it requires a different skill set, a different frame of mind, a different person. And so you are positioned where you are, which is why I say now is the time. Because see, the problem we have is that we have too many folks who are not preparing themselves for the moment when the shift happens.